So this upcoming 23rd ASEAN Plus Age Group Chess Championships in Penang, next July, it's really got me thinking like
Yeah.
July 1st to the 11th, 2025.
Right.
It's really interesting how this whole thing even began and why it's become so important.
Yeah.
For young chess players, it
Uh,
seems like more than just another tournament. It's like a breeding ground for, future international chess stars.
it really is.
Yeah.
And to kind of dig into what makes this Penang Championship so important, we've been going through all this really interesting stuff that you shared.
Right.
We've got stats from the Federation about the last event that happened in Laos, and then this really excited YouTube discussion about the plans for Penang. And then we've got like the official invitation and all the rules for 2025.
Yes.
Everything from who can play to what the schedule's like every day, even like the types of medals they're going to be going for.
Yeah, it's all in there. And plus, we've got, these news articles, and they give us a little peek into what's happened at past tournaments, like how many players showed up in 2024 and Malaysia's history as a host. And even like looking back at that Eastern Asian Youth Chess Championship that they also hosted in Penang.
Right, right.
And then just to top it off, we've got some really cool historical background on how the ASEAN Plus championships have kind of changed over time.
Absolutely.
So I guess like what we're trying to do today is pull all these different things together.
Yeah, that's the mission.
Yeah, so we can kind of explore the journey of these championships.
Right.
And what makes the Penang event so special and what it tells us about youth chess in the whole region.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right in, like right back to the beginning. 2000 and Vung Tau City in Vietnam. Is that when it all started?
That's right. So it began as the ASEAN Age-Group Chess Championships. And the idea was to just have a competition for all the ASEAN countries.
Okay.
And in that very first one, they had 155 young players
Wow.
coming from 7 different countries.
7 countries.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to see how much it's grown since then.
It's huge. Yeah.
Who is behind getting it started? Like,
Okay.
who was the main driver?
Well, it was the ASEAN Chess Confederation, which is also known as the ACC.
Okay.
And they really wanted to have like a good, solid platform to grow young chess talent in Southeast Asia.
Right.
You can see that vision when you look at how much the event has grown. Because by the 20th edition in 2019, they had over 400 players.
Wow. Over 400.
Yeah.
So were there any years or places where it was like especially big?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So Singapore, they've got the record for the biggest turnout with 448 players from 16 countries back in 2015.
Wow.
And then if you're talking about the most countries represented, that was actually in Macau in 2014, and there were 22 countries.
Okay.
It's interesting because that's the only time it's been held outside of ASEAN.
Huh.
So it seems like the ACC really wants to keep it within those member nations.
Okay, so it started as just ASEAN, but then they added the plus.
When did that happen?
Yeah, so it became ASEAN Plus in 2007 at the 8th edition. And that was a really important moment
Okay.
because they opened it up to countries outside of Southeast Asia.
So who were some of the first ones to join from outside ASEAN?
Well, you started to see these big chess countries like China and India getting involved,
Oh, wow.
and Japan, New Zealand, South Korea.
Yeah.
It really made the competition tougher, and it was a great experience for the ASEAN players to play against all these different styles.
Yeah, for sure.
And by the 20th edition, they had 30 countries and territories taking part.
So with all that growth and the changes, the rules and the structure of the tournament must have changed too, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So at first, it was all about individual standard chess.
Okay.
And they used either a Swiss system, which is where players with the same score are paired together,
Right.
or a round-robin format where everybody plays each other.
Okay.
But then from the second edition, they added team tiebreaks, which I thought was interesting, made it more strategic. Yeah.
And they also had this rule where they limited the number of individual medals of the same color to 3.
Really?
Yeah, and a total of only 5 medals per category. So it seems like they wanted to spread the recognition around,
Oh, that makes sense.
encourage more people to participate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the quicker versions of chess, like the Rapid and Blitz that we see so much today?
Right, so those came a bit later, at the 5th edition in 2004.
Okay.
And then another big step for the players was in 2003, the 4th edition,
Okay.
is when the tournament became FIDE rated.
Got it.
So all their games count towards their international ranking.
Right.
They can even earn FIDE titles based on how well they do.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, that's a big deal, especially for young players who want to compete at a high level.
So for Penang next year, for the 23rd one, what are the time controls going to be like for each game?
Right, so for the standard chess games, it'll be 90 minutes per player.
Okay.
plus an extra 30 seconds added to their clock after every move.
Got it.
And for rapid chess, it's 25 minutes per player with a 10-second increment per move.
Okay.
And then Blitz is just 5 minutes to finish the whole game.
Wow, that's fast.
It is, yeah. Keep things exciting.
So you got a good mix of different formats there to really challenge the players.
Yeah, for sure.
How about the medals? How are they going to give out those?
Right, so medals go to the top 3 players in each age and gender category.
Okay.
And then for the team medals, they combine the scores of the top 3 players from each country.
Got it.
And of course, there's tie-breaking rules if anybody ends up with the same score.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the players themselves. How have the age categories changed over the years, and what can you tell us about participation?
Right, so they started with 10 categories back in 2000, covering under 10 to under 18 for both boys and girls.
Okay.
But then in 2001, they added the under 8 category because they realized they needed something for the younger players.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, they've just kept adding more, like seniors 50 plus in 2007.
Oh.
They even combined under 18 and under 20 for a while. But then they brought back under 18 as a separate category.
Okay.
More recently, they've added seniors 65 plus.
Wow.
And then things like under 6 and under 30 to under 50 for men and women. That was in 2019.
So they're really trying to include people of all ages.
Yeah, absolutely.
How does participation in ASEAN Plus compare to other tournaments in the region?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So the first Eastern Asian Youth Chess Championship, which was also in Penang, had 363 players from 16 countries.
Okay.
But then the 22nd ASEAN Plus in Laos last year was much smaller. Only 175 players from 8 federations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Vietnam actually made up most of those players.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it seems like they have a bit of a challenge getting players from all across the region consistently.
And the sources mentioned some disappointment about some countries not participating last year, right?
Yeah, so Thailand didn't send any players, which was surprising because they actually hosted it the year before.
Oh.
And Malaysia didn't have anyone there either.
Interesting.
It felt almost like a smaller sub-regional event because Vietnam had at least 2/3 of all the players there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of hope that with Penang hosting this time,
Right.
yeah, with the home advantage and Penang's experience hosting these youth events, they think they'll get a much bigger turnout.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So speaking of Malaysia, 2025 is only the 3rd time they've hosted the ASEAN Plus, right?
Yeah, that's right. They had the second ASEAN Age-Group Chess Championship in Kuala Lumpur back in 2001.
Okay.
And then again in Kuantan Pahang in 2017.
Okay.
So it's not very often that Malaysia gets to host this.
Yeah.
It's a good chance for them to show off their chess scene and their hospitality.
But Penang itself has a good track record with these youth events, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. They did a great job hosting that first Eastern Asian Youth Chess Championship. So everybody's feeling pretty confident about the ASEAN Plus going smoothly.
That's great.
Yeah, it seems like they've got everything under control.
So let's get into the specifics about the 23rd Championship.
Okay.
We know it's from July 1st to 11th, 2025. But where exactly are the games going to be played?
So the main venue is the main ballroom on the 3rd floor of the official hotel, which is the Citadel Penang.
Sounds nice.
It does, yeah. Sounds like it's in a good spot, too, which is always good for the players.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Who can play in Penang?
So it's open to players from any of the countries and territories that are listed in the official invitation.
Okay.
There are age requirements, of course, depending on when you were born. And there's a big range from under 6 all the way to senior 65 plus.
What's the daily schedule going to look like?
Okay, so things kick off with arrivals and registration on July 1st.
Okay.
And then there's a really important technical meeting on the evening of July 2nd.
Right.
That's where they'll finalize all the details.
Okay.
Then the standard chess rounds, those are the main event, and they'll take place over a few days.
Right.
There's a free day in the middle, which is great for the players to just chill out.
Yeah.
And after the standard chess is done, they move on to the rapid and blitz.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's the social evening, which is always a highlight.
Yeah.
And the closing ceremony to wrap things up.
So the social night, it's more than just about the chess, right?
Oh, yeah. It's been a tradition at these championships for a long time.
Okay.
It's a chance for all the different teams to get to know each other and learn about each other's cultures.
That's really cool.
It is, yeah. Each team usually puts on a little performance, shows off their traditions and stuff.
I love that.
Yeah, Laos actually won the social evening at the 21st event.
Really?
Yeah, so there's some friendly competition there, too.
For anyone who might be thinking of going, what about registration fees and places to stay?
Okay, so there are different registration deadlines and fees for players. If you register before June 1st, 2025, you get a lower fee.
Okay.
And there are also fees for anyone who comes with the players. And the official hotel, the Citadel of Penang, has special rates for participants with options for single, twin double, and triple rooms.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's super convenient.
It's amazing to see how this event has not only grown in size, but also in all the opportunities it offers.
For sure.
It's been a starting point for some really big chess stars, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The ASEAN Plus Championships have been so important for developing top players. People like Wesley So and Laquan Liam, they got a lot of their early experience at these tournaments. Shows you how important this event is on the world stage.
And we've seen some other promising young players coming up lately too, right?
Yeah, last year there was this 15-year-old, Paul Tien from Penang. He became Malaysia's youngest international master.
Wow.
It was after a really strong performance at the 8th Eastern Asian Youth Chess Championship. That one was in Penang too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really inspiring. It gives hope that Malaysia and the whole ASEAN region will produce more top players. Maybe even a grandmaster someday.
So it all comes back to what the ASEAN Chess Confederation is trying to do.
Exactly.
Their big goal is to make ASEAN chess great again.
That's right.
And to have more players from the region competing at the global level.
Yeah, they're really committed to raising the standard of chess in ASEAN.
That's great.
And they even collaborated with the European Chess Union.
Really?
Yeah, they had a symposium together with the 21st ASEAN Plus in 2023.
Wow.
So they're really taking it seriously.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it's clear that this isn't just any youth tournament. It's got such a rich history, and it shows how chess is growing in the ASEAN region. It's attracting more international players.
For sure.
And after a smaller event last year, there's a lot of excitement about Penang.
Definitely. Everybody's hoping for a big turnout.
It's really a testament to the ASEAN Chess Confederation and all the different national chess federations involved.
Absolutely.
And it makes you think, with chess becoming more and more global, and with all the different countries that have been part of ASEAN Plus over the years, what's the real purpose of these regional youth championships?
Yeah.
Are they mainly about national pride and developing talent within countries? Or are they also about promoting international excellence and building connections between different chess cultures?
Right.
And what does the future hold for chess in ASEAN? How will it impact the global chess scene?
Those are the big questions.
Yeah.
A lot to think about.
A lot to think about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it is.
See you next time.